Notified my subscribers. Sweet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna get that connecting.
Connecting,
Now,
connecting.
I want you're consciously aware that by doing this, my readers are gonna come into your life.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's why
My
one of the reasons I wanted to do this not just by myself is
yeah,
it's awesome. Hey, welcome everyone so far. Look at that. Look at the
yeah,
crowd coming in.
yeah. You're gonna have to deal with my readers. You're gonna have to deal
No,
with
I
my
want your readers because the more that we do cross, like you and I come from very different backgrounds, but we're also Erin says she's at work, so darn. Sorry, Erin. We'll get you next time. Um, if she joins, awesome. Into the chat at some point, that'd be cool. I think it's awesome that we can do cross posts like this because I come from a very different background in some ways than you, but we also come at very similar backgrounds. Like we're both tech backgrounds. Um, but I'm a veteran and I have a very different life story than you. So I think having these cross posts is awesome. Um,
Oh,
so
if
I,
anybody has my life story, I'm sorry already. Sorry already.
like I'm sitting over here in my all-American boy shirt, sweating my ass off, schwitzing in the sun. I'm gonna go to the good trouble protests here today. And I'll probably either live stream on you. I'll probably be live streaming on TikTok for that. I may live stream on here instead. Because I want people to join in and see what we're doing because it's Arkansas and Arkansas needs to start showing up and we've been showing up more. So yeah, welcome everyone. Let's get into it, Wendy. It's we wanted I called this the shit talk because we got shit to talk about and I wanted to start it with education because I know this impacts you too. You talked about it a little bit with me yesterday with the SCOTUS stuff is what's going on with the Department of Education and how might it impact people?
The whole like the
Or how does it
Department of
already possibly impact you?
oh well, okay, so I have a child who's going into college. And I have a child who my child is a scholarship child. She did really well in school, Gizmo. Um, Hereafter, if I say Gizmo, most of my readers know I'm talking about my kid. Um, and so, um, okay, great. And then, um, she's telling me, she's like, with all the shit that's happening with the Department of Education, I don't know if my scholarship is going to pick back up the following year.
Hmm.
And it's like,
And like expanding on the like loans and scholarship stuff. I'm still paying on my college loans from when I went to school. Like I graduated fuck over 10 years ago now, and I'm still paying on college loans. And I
well,
went into the army and I'm still paying on college loans.
I find
Um,
I find that shocking,
well,
actually.
they weren't offering to pay back that incentive. When I got in, it was they gave me the choice of either pay for my loans or get the GI Bill. And I wanted the GI Bill because I wanted to go back to school again, and I didn't want to have to pay for it in that way. And I was able to. I mean, that's how I got into software. Was I used my GI Bill and I went to school for software engineering. I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be in the field I'm in without that.
No.
But they gave me a choice instead of helping both ways, and I think that's shitty. Um, Lisa, that's awesome. Go protest. I'll be out at in Arkansas today too. So I know you'll be up wherever you're at in Missouri. I'm glad to see Missouri showing up. Um, if you see Fred Wellman anywhere, say hi to him and introduce yourself. Um, but yeah, I feel like I hope I see Kimmy today. I know she's in possibly in my area. I think I've actually met her before. She seemed really, really familiar. But getting back to education, it's like I'm still paying on my student loans. They want to shift that burden back. They want to make debtors prison. They've already started recollections on people who are defaulting on their student loans. It's all about making people poorer and putting them in situations where they either have to go to prison or they have to get in set into some work camp of some sort or some freedom city where you're in a corporate town and you work for Walmart forever. Like the area I live in is pretty blue and white and yellow and Walmarty all the time for everything, and they threaten everybody. Um, like that shouldn't be the way it is. That's not how we should be in America. But anyway, back to the education stuff. But there's a lot. Um, and it sucks. Like I'm sorry that you're not sure she's gonna be able to get right?
Yeah, she.
That she's gonna be able to might not be able to get the scholarships, like Pell Grants, things like that. Like people forget that fucking Pell Grants are Department of Education.
Yeah,
Loans, all of it.
yes.
You
Well,
want to go to college, you need the fucking Department of Education.
I don't understand why people don't get this. The real question that I sort of have to ask is, um, are we educating students to succeed on tests or to thrive in a world of uncertainty and
Hmm.
rapid change? And so, one of the metrics for education is like, are we trying to educate kids? And then, too, with the deprecation of the Department of Education, how is that going to affect how our kids
Yeah.
get educated?
Yeah, so I'll answer that latter question first because I actually got a comment about this on my video where that I put out about the Department of Education. Somebody was like, this is a weak argument. It doesn't stand up. Department of Education doesn't really, it's all state level anyways. I was like, yeah, it is all state level. That's what I'm thinking. It's all state level. The thing is the Department of Education is the enforcement mechanism that keeps laws enforced. The states can choose not to follow those laws if they don't want to when there's nothing federally stopping them. Like what happens if, say, Arkansas, who has relaxed their child labor laws, decides that you either go to high school or you go to work in a technical college of some sort or a technical school for high school, where if you're a flunky or you have ADHD or you're on a 504 or an IEP plan and you become a flunky in their eyes or someone who's holding the school back or God forbid private schools only because the education system just goes away, those don't have to follow the same things like in regulations. It's all a trap to get less people educated. Um, and leave kids behind like mine, like yours, like anybody who has a disability, anybody who's slightly different, anybody who's white make right, right? That's their whole thing. It's um it's disgusting. Um but anyway, yeah. I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to go too dark on education. I think there's hope that we can find in all of this is people are people are noticing and hearing and getting louder. Um And I hope if you have a protest nearby you today for good trouble, anyone who's following along, that you go, um, because you should. Um,
Yes, of that I agree readily.
and if you look like me and you have the ability, or you're a veteran, or you're somebody else, like you absolutely need to be going. It's not a should. If you're a veteran, if you're a white dude who looks like me, who calls themselves a patriot, fucking show up. Now's the time. It's patriotic to go out and protest. It's patriotic to be peaceful and to make your voice heard in dissent. And studies show 3.5% of a population sustained movements will 100% of the time throughout history have toppled that government. Doesn't always mean that they remain peaceful the whole time, but movements that start peaceful and advocate for peace and following the rule of law and following constitutionality or whatever legality that is ethical and moral always win. So participate. Now, like now's the time. It's the clarion call. It's the call to action. If you call yourself patriotic in any way, show it. Patriotism means showing up in the face of adversity and courage and doing the right thing.
I agree with you completely. I agree with you completely.
Oh, you moved your setting. Now I'm not sure what's going on, Wendy.
Oh no, I'm watching the chat. Also, by sitting this way, my 2600 uh, sits over my shoulder much easier. Um,
Oh, good. Oh, hey,
which
Kimmy.
I side note, I've been published in the 2600 a handful of times.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome. I've never been published in anything other than Substack, uh so it's fun to meet people who've actually got like real credentials and who are real in these different ways. Hey, old man, stop your barking. Hey, Kimmy, are you coming out to a protest today? You don't have to say exactly where. I may, if you are, I may see you. Um, no, I'll be out in Fayetteville, coming hanging out. So if you want to come to Fayetteville, anybody, come join us. Come protest with us. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have my big American flag. Um, and I'm gonna be overly stupidly patriotic. I've got a freaking Arkansas tank top that's red, white, and blue with a stupid American eagle going down. Like, if now is the time for performative patriotism, like if you got it, show up, wear like a red, white, and blue, like come out in all your red, white, and blue. Bring your gay pride flags, bring your American flags, but bring flags that are American. If you got a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, fucking bring that shit out. Like if you've got an army flag, whatever flags you have, bring them out that are patriotic because they're not patriots. They're not patriots. They're anti constitutional fascist patriots and conservatives and progressives, real Americans. Like, I'm a conservative, but I'm also a progressive because I want to conserve the Constitution and I want to conserve what we have in America, but I want to progress the damn thing because we need to make it better. Because Thomas Jefferson said, maybe every 10 years you, or a couple generations, you tear the damn thing down and rewrite it. Maybe it's time we fucking rewrote some of this shit and took out the bigotry and hate and turned it into a fair constitution and maybe changed the language of like no, or like all men are created or like all men deserve whatever. Take the men out and say all people, because all people deserve the right to freedom, liberty, and justice. Like that's the whole damn point. That's our country, right? Go show it today. Like, go out because if we make it so that we're the patriots and we take the narrative, what are they going to say? Oh, this group of American flag waving commies coming out and disgracing him. And no, these American flag waving patriots and veterans and citizens, because the highest rank of office in this country is citizen. So come out and be a citizen and a voter and show your voice today. But do it peacefully. Like that's the big thing. Do it peacefully wherever you are. Do not break laws. Do not incite violence. If people come out to be violent and assholes, set them down peacefully, surround them peacefully, shut their voice down. You can yell and be patriotic, but don't yell at them. Yell towards them with songs and chants and do the right thing.
Right.
Okay. So we went from, so far we've covered a little bit of education. We've gone into some protests, which is all good. There's somebody else in the news that we need to talk about that I don't know if anybody's ever heard his name before. Um, name's Jeffrey Epstein. I hear he's a pedophile, and that he trafficked. and that he trafficked girls. Correct me if I'm wrong, because anyone under the age of 18 is a child, right? Still
Yes,
considered a child. So they're
yes.
girls. Um, and, and don't fucking come at me in the chats and in the follow-ups to all these videos when it comes out and say they're teenagers, they're pubescent young women. They're not women, they're girls. He sex trafficked girls, and now we're hiding it. How do you feel about that?
I,
Allegedly hiding it. How do you
yes,
feel about that?
yes, allegedly hiding
Oh,
it.
and boys too. Thank you, Edward.
So I I don't feel good about that. And like, so here's the problem: the larger focused issue is one we all accept that Donald is in the files. I mean,
Yes,
I this is
allegedly, but we no, actually not allegedly. He is in the files because that's
yes,
been proven in public. Like there's actual photographic
yeah,
and
yes,
recorded evidence that
yeah,
he's
yeah,
in the files.
yeah,
But that does not mean he is specifically a pedophile. He
yes,
is allegedly that.
yes. He's as is with everyone else, but
Yeah,
he's
as
in the
is everyone else except for Ghislaine Maxwell, who she's proven to be a trafficker
right.
for now.
So outside of that, yes, there is a larger body of individuals who are guilty of crimes. Crimes, by the way, of which the statute of limitations has not run out.
Nope.
That
There
really,
should
from my
never be a statute of limitations for pedophilia.
yeah, no, I look child abuse. Look,
Child abuse in any sort should never have a statute of limitations. Children
yeah,
should always be protected every single time, 100% of the time. You're
I'm
innocent
I'm an
and you're
essay
innocent as a child until you're 100, until you're 18, or if you do a purposeful crime, like to hurt people.
right. I'm an SA victim from my childhood, so I'm very sensitive about that, and so
Mhm.
no, that should not be. So yeah, you're basically now the Department of Justice and Trump are playing party to not convicting a large body of people that have committed crimes that, in no uncertain terms, should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Yes. So my follow-up question to you, because I just want to listen to what you got to say on this. I've said a lot. As an American, how do you feel about the Supreme Court of our country protecting pedophilia? What
It's
is it? How does it make you feel as an American?
disgusted. I'm thoroughly disgusted by that fact. We're talking about singularly from a psychological perspective. We are talking about one of the most damaging things that can happen to a child, bar none. SA on a child is, I, I mean, the only thing worse you can do to a child is kill the child.
I don't even know if that's worse, to be totally
I
honest.
mean,
I think that's better for the child. And I hate saying that, but I think it's better to not live with that if that person is going to continue that shit. Like I think sometimes that is a better choice. I'm not going to say it's always, and please don't misquote me. I'm glad so many people are here, but I think I'm so mad about the idea of pedophilia. It just makes it. I've
yeah,
got
I mean,
kids. I've got young kids. Like I'm a girl dad. Like, no, it's becoming normalized on Twitter. Like people are like, yeah, he might have raped a girl or raped a girl, but but that's okay because he's deporting all these brown people that we hate.
well, uh, so here's the thing about that. That this goes back to the Cyrus exception and how people on the far right
Oh,
who
the
are Christian,
biblification of
yeah,
things.
who are Christian, who use the Cyrus exception to validate the fact that Trump can do whatever the fuck he wants as long as God is using Trump to
Bec-
achieve all this other really great shit.
Bye,
That's the
Lisa.
Cyrus. Yeah. Basically, God commanded Cyrus, the king of Persia, to do something,
Mhm.
and it released the Israelites or whatever. And so that exception meant that God can use evil people to achieve desired ends. And so that's how Christians validate, well, maybe he raped the child, or maybe he did something to somebody, but the good that he's doing, that's more important.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that whole it's okay that he's disgusting and the vessel of God is off can often be corrupt or be a sinner themselves, but it's just as long as God is the one directing them, which I think is gross because if God is omnipotent and all powerful, right, and can do anything and everything and all things, why does God need a unclean and impure vessel such as that to get their will done? Like what would that serve? What purpose does that serve? Is it a test of faith that you follow this shitty ass person in God's will? Well, I think that's a shitty fucking religion then. Sorry, I don't bash on Christianity. I don't bash on any specific religion. Like I'm Jewish, I'm Catholic, I'm all of the above, but I'm agnostic to it because if there is a God, I got questions and I want to be judged for just being good for being who I am. And if there isn't a God, well then okay. Like I did good because I was good because who I am. Like I am I'm dead. It doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, I'm dead. It doesn't matter. But
Right.
anyway, getting back to the important stuff we were talking about because this all sucks. Is I'm going to ask you another question. Follow up. Now that I asked you, how do you feel about the Supreme Court covering up alleged pedophilia and proven sex trafficking?
Right.
Um, how do you feel about our entire legislative body on the Republican side voting down while publicly calling in contradiction to their votes to release the files?
So that bears clarification. So it's the House Intelligence Committee, which is not the entire body, that voted we shouldn't do this.
Mhm.
Um,
Clarification's good.
yeah, so that's still wrong outside of the prospect of the fact that Mike Johnson and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert and all
Thomas
of the,
Massey,
yeah,
all of them
that's
are
what's
calling
weird.
for
Like
it to be
Thomas Massey,
released.
who is like not even on their side of the equation, is
He's
saying,
actually working with Rokana now
you
to
know,
get them released.
yeah, we just need to release the files. So the
So this is where I hope the libertarians step up. This is why I was talking about libertarians yesterday. Was Thomas Massey's a libertarian? He could step up and break away publicly and loudly and fracture the Republican Party. And you know what that would make in Congress? Sorry to just shift the topic for just a second. That would make a more parliamentary system because then we would have more than two fucking parties. Maybe the people could actually be represented by progressive, like populist idea parliamentary system for our House of Representatives. We based it off of the British. We may as well evolve too. Fuck. Anyway, how do you feel about our Congress currently not releasing? Do you think what they're doing right now in terms of, say, Rokana and Thomas Massey is the right approach, is working together to make a joint effort to get these files released? Because I think that's the right effort. But what
I
are your thoughts on like people who just call shit out and then still vote no on it?
necessity makes strange bedfellows.
Yeah, it does.
And I mean, I hate to say it, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Well, the enemy of my enemy is my ally.
Right.
I won't go so far as friend. I'm not going to call Thomas Massey a friend
No,
or
no,
like,
no, no. But
but
yeah,
I know it's the quote itself. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So, I, if they continue to vote no and yet they're vocal about the fact that it should happen, that's bullshit.
yeah.
That's the thing about Marjorie. Like Marjorie, she lives in my state,
Yeah.
and like, here's the thing: we all hate her. We all hate her in Georgia.
Yep. How
Like
does she keep getting voted in then?
because the district that she's in is the
Gerrymandering.
is the reddest redneck district in the state of Georgia. bar none.
By the
Which is
way, just to call out before we go any further, because we're at it, is we're at 69 on the stream. Just had to call that out. It's a good number. Um, the only thing that stops a good 69 is a period.
wow, wow. Wait, is Elaine in this call? Because I feel like Elaine should be in this call.
We had to go there. We haven't made, oh no, somebody fucked it. Now we have too many people. Now we're at 70. Good, good. Let's keep
Oh.
growing. But we had
Do
our
you want me to
69
flash my
moment.
boobs and scare some people away so that we can go back down to 69?
No, I don't think Substack we're not on OnlyFans. And I don't think Substack allows pornography.
Um,
We got to be
mild,
somewhat safe for work.
yes. Peggy, be safe out there, please.
Yeah,
Um,
everybody, if you're going to be out there, be safe. Have a plan. Bring a battery charger or whatever. Make sure your
yeah,
phones are charged, things like that.
yeah. Be safe out there.
Have a buddy, have a battle buddy
Yes.
or a protest buddy. But yeah, and so my next question, how do you feel about the entire executive branch covering allegedly covering up and um hiding or allegedly destroying evidence, it would seem like, around a pedophile? How do you feel as an American to know
I
that the
mean,
president and executive branch and our Department of Justice are advocating for pedophilia?
yeah, I have an even bigger problem with that because there are people in that group of individuals, Bondi, Cash Patel.
Oh, Elaine's here.
Oh, good. You know, Mangina Bongino, who have made an entire career off of we need to get the Epstein data out there.
Why do you think he's
And
quitting?
and well, so like yeah, like has it been confirmed he's actually going to leave the
He's,
FBI?
I doubt, I mean, he's threatened. The thing is, he is, somebody was talking about it yesterday. Bongino has a very successful podcast career. Like he actually has a following and
Right.
he's surprisingly good at it. I don't appreciate any of the shit he says, but he's surprisingly good at what he does and people follow him. He's trying to protect his reputation because most of that entire Q culture is built on the Epstein conspiracy. And whether there's more to it than what we know, I'm assuming there is because it hasn't come out on under either a Democratic or Republican president. Like it's being covered up. It's been covered up by powerful people. So it's like I'm tired of our country advocating for pedophilia. Like
Yes.
that makes me sick.
Yeah.
As a veteran, as an American, it makes me sick that
Yes.
we are advocating for pedophilia as a national identity and as a like okay thing. Just sorry, it's gross. As a dad, as a guy, just I would love our country to grow up a little.
Right.
Like all it takes is a little self-reflection to go, ew, that's gross.
Yeah. I completely agree. I completely agree. Um,
Um,
you
so
know,
Epstein. I hear we have to forget about him though. I was
well,
told by
I
the dear leader that we're supposed to forget about him.
no. Here's the thing about that, and I made this analysis last night to my partner. Um, so look at QAnon.
Hmm.
How long did QAnon go? QAnon has gone strong for about 8 years.
More
And
visibly, yes.
yeah,
Underground a lot longer.
yeah, but a lot longer. But visibly, QAnon's been going on for about 8 years.
Hmm.
So here's the thing. If QAnon has gone that long and it's completely crazy,
Hmm.
then it stands to reason that the mentality of understanding what the Epstein files have in them, that conspiracy is going to go longer because there are people that have said, I've seen the Black Book. I know there's names in it.
Yeah. I mean, Alan Dershowitz over the weekend, Trump's former personal attorney went on television and said, on, I think it was on Fox or CNN, one of the big legacy media networks, and said he's seen the files. He can't talk about them because he's under a court order not to. And then the other day he was like, no, never mind. I didn't say any of that shit. Like, no, don't fucking gaslight me. You don't get to
No,
gaslight the entire world.
yes, you can't say that.
This isn't QAnon, or this isn't like 4chan or 8chan or shit like that where you can just conspiracy your way through the entire world. Like, you don't get to propagandize the whole world. And like, and that's the problem, is they're trying to. And like the whole thing with AI, that's the next step. And I want to talk to you about AI because you're a techie too. Is so I posted the other day, and I'm really pissed off at my university. So I'm a graduate of Carnegie Mellon University.
Oh, nice.
And so shout out to CMU, and also CMU, go fuck yourself. Like, they just let Trump attend the Energy and Innovation Summit on campus, and it's all about AI. It's all about investing in building manufacturing and like the data warehouses and the energy resources for AI. But guess what? They want to use fucking coal. They don't want to use green. They want you to be in a factory with fucking coal or fracked natural gas, shit like that. They're not talking about solar and wind farms and good green alternative technologies. They want to use it as a leverage to put you in factories. They want to dumb and pour you down. And my university, which promotes such diversity, because Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie, promoted diversity and gave away all of his wealth. So did Andrew Mellon. Like, they gave away all their wealth and they founded two schools, one for boys, one for girls. They founded a college for girls and
Right.
women. And now it's a university. And now they're just like, yeah, fuck you. Like, they signed on to all the stuff with Harvard against Trump, and now they're letting him into their energy summit. So I put out a video about it, and I'm pissed off. And I asked people, if you're a part of the community, to sign the open letter to the dean and provost, or the provost and president, because no, you can't. You can't normalize him and what they're doing, because the AI is the next step. So here's the question. How do you feel about now that the education department is basically going to be ripped away? We know that there's a lot of online companies that are doing virtual learning through and using AI as their sub base or whatever their learning models in, and it's baked into really bad language models, and LLMs. What do you think is going to be? How do you think this is going to impact education in the long run?
Well,
And where do you think this might go for AI?
I mean, LLMs are already having an effect on people, um, intelligence wise, either at the beginning of the
Hey,
journey
Ramona, welcome.
for oh, hi Rona Greg. I think I follow her.
If
So
you
I
don't,
think,
you should all follow Ramona Gregg. She
yeah.
just joined the chat. She's awesome.
Oh yeah, of course I follow her. Anyway, so AI and LLMs are already making people stupid.
Yeah.
The I was reading a an NIH PubMed recently, um, about yeah, Ramona, you probably write better. I think you write better than I do. You write, and you don't cuss near as much as I do, so that means that you're probably a better writer. But anyway, um, so I was reading a PubMed yesterday because I read National Institute of Health shit all the time. M- my reader Astrid, it's her fault that I do that. But anyway, that LLMs and ultimately AI are creating a void of two problems. One, addiction,
Hmm.
and then two, a lack of intelligence. Um, oh, Rona, don't read my biography. If somebody links it in this chat, don't fucking read it. I promise you, just don't read it. It's horrible.
You should stop listening to Wendy. She keeps saying that, but it's really good. Everybody should read it.
um,
Oh, look at that. Somebody posted it in the chat too.
oh shit already. God. Um, so you know, there's there's already an addiction. Um, and there's a dumbing down that's being caused by it because people, like, for example, in the PubMed I was reading, it was like one of the test cases was a guy, he had to get up every morning so he could talk to Chat GPT and develop an emotional connection with Chat GPT. And when Chat GPT said, I can't answer your questions anymore, he got depressed and he attempted to unalive himself.
Oh, bug on my glasses.
Um,
Yeah, like AI, I hardly use it in like I do software engineering and I hardly use AI in my stuff. And I try to avoid it because it makes you, I mean, I use it sometimes. I use it to check my work and I'll ask it questions, but you have to ask it questions. Like you have to want to learn and use it as a tool for search, not as a tool to teach. Like I use it to gather information and then I always ask it like check your logic and provide me sources so that I can look at the sources that they're referencing and go, this source kind of sucks. Like I've gone through like AI answers and I've been like, you're wrong. This doesn't work. And I correct my AI when I do it with coding all the time. And people aren't going to do that. People don't do that because they just trust that it's right because it's AI. It's smart. It's got to be smart. Elon Musk built it. What Mecha Hitler online said it's right. So it must be right. Like that's provide sources. Like so, yeah, Donna or Donnie Lee just said it in the chat. Provide me sources. Like if no sources, pictures or it didn't happen. Hey, dude, you're gonna unplug my yo, you're unplugging my phone, man, and I need this. You're a nut job. Come on, move. Move, puppy. Come on, buddy. Um, anyway, like I think, yeah, like I think AI is a tool for research and reference if you use it right, but there's so much being built into it right now that's bias and bigotry. Like we talk about unconscious bias, but this is purposeful bias being built in, like the surveillance systems. It's all about control.
it's like people that use LLMs to write application code or whatever. People ask me and we're like,
Oh,
"Do
like
you?"
vibe coding.
Yeah, yeah, vibe coding, and I'm like,
Fuck that.
do you use an LLM for coding?" And I'm like, "I'm a Python
No.
developer. I've been a Python developer for a very long time, and I will use an LLM just to make sure my object structure is right. But there's no way I'm going to give an LLM a full dump of my code because I don't want an LLM to train on it and then use it
Yeah.
elsewhere."
Yeah. Like if I'm gonna make an LLM, to be honest, like if I'm gonna do something like that, I have my feelings on Python. I'm a primarily a TypeScript developer.
Oh,
Um,
sure, okay. I respect
um,
that.
but I'm learning Go too. Go's a cool language. Um, but like I don't like using them unless I build them myself. Like if I'm gonna build a model to train something on, it's gonna be on my own database and the
Yeah,
data that I collect on
contained.
purpose and contained and isn't going out to someone else so that they can train on stuff that's not supposed to be trainable on. because it's private. Like I have to guarantee privacy of data. You can't guarantee that with an external LLM because they're going to steal it. Like
Right.
if you think they don't, they do. That's the bad thing. Um, so like, but AI itself, I think the danger I see is because of the shuttering of the Department of Education. I'm going to bring this all back to the education piece because it all has to do with education here in the country. Is I think the shuttering of the education department, Linda McMahon specifically talking about A1, as she put it, not AI, but A1, because apparently it's a steak sauce.
Right.
Um, what a fucking idiot. Our WWE chancellor of education over here. Um, I think she's just going to let groups like Palantir or what are these online like far right Christian ones that do all the education and like the weird videos about how slavery was not that bad and Christopher Columbus wasn't such a bad dude. Um, Someone will probably put it in the chat if they know what I'm the name of the um, it's a lot of homeschoolers use it. And like, we're going to go to a lot of homeschooling soon or a lot of private school systems, and those are going to go unchecked with AI models that are just going to teach kids bigotry. They're going to
Yes.
teach kids
Y-
purposefully. Like,
Yes.
it's the Hitler Youth all over again, but more rapid. Like, that's the difference. Like, the one thing that I've noticed in all of this, and I'll is everything's more rapid than it was
Yes.
in Germany and in the beginning of World War II. And that's not unexpected because we're in a much more rapid era of news and technological progression too. And so they react just as rapidly. And that's really dangerous because we have to be very, very conscious of how quickly it's going to escalate and how quickly we need to be prepared to de escalate, but not but I say de-escalate, but I do not say I don't say go unpunished. Like we will de-escalate, but you have to be punished. Like
Yes.
these are alleged crimes against humanity at this point. But going back to the AI stuff, what do you think is going to be the effect in terms of like surveillance and how people move around in their communities? As more and more of this comes out, like I see all the ice block stuff. Like, what do you think is going to happen to communities now?
I mean, here's the thing. Communities are either going to band up together or they're going to fall apart. Now, there are some communities that are viscerally strong and solid states, and those communities will fall in line.
Hmm.
It's the other disjointed communities that will not. My community, I have a lesbian couple that pull up and ask me if they can cut my grass or whatever, and
Hmm.
I have a very like I I don't talk to my neighbors a whole lot, but most of the people in my community are friendly, and so I feel like yeah, if the shit hit the fan, everyone would be like, hey, if you need something, just come over or whatever. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
It's the thing is nowadays you have to validate that that's true. Like,
right,
I can't assume that just because you're nice to me in public doesn't mean you're not going to be nice to me when the door is closed. Like if well, because I'm going to compare it to Germany. I'm Jewish. It's my history. It's my people's, and I'm gonna claim I'm not going to claim pity because right now there's a lot going on in the world. And if you listen this morning with Dana Lawrence and the opinionated ogre, if you didn't, you should. They talked a lot about the anti-Semitism that's on the rise and things like that, and how this new word Zions that is associates all Jewish people as Zionists and genocidists. Um, that's
yeah,
now part of our legacy again in the modern era, and we're willing, and not we, the Jewish government in Israel is willing to put that label and that target on the rest of us. Uh, and I'm really scared for what's going on. Like, I can't trust that my neighbor who I see in public isn't going to put on a fucking mask and go arrest my other neighbor and then go, oh man, it's such a shame that that neighbor's gone.
No, because you trust but verify.
Yeah, like there has to be a way, and I know it's, and I'm not saying this, don't make symbols and don't make yourself obvious. There's always a way to tell with people if they're safe. There's always a way because safe people make it known that they're safe and that you can go to them and that it's a place that's easy to come to and be and you feel welcome. Make yourself that safe place for other people right now
Yeah.
so that we have the option of where community thrives in all of this rather than falls apart. Like that's the big um that's the big pieces. Community has to thrive. And like what you just said, Wendy, is you have friends and neighbors that come over. The community that I've seen that sticks with themselves and not sticks by themselves, but sticks with each other the most is the LGBTQ plus community.
Oh,
Um,
very much so. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
and it's really good to see because it's a very welcoming place to be in. Like there's a plus there. Like that plus is for all of us who fall into different categories within the community. Um, like it's okay to be a part of the community. It's okay to be bi. It's okay to be straight. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be lesbian. It's okay to be trans. It's okay to be non-sexual, pansexual, whatever sexuality, as long as it's not hurting people and it's not pedophilia. If you go to pedophilia, you've gone too far and you're wrong.
Right.
Any form, any form of
Well,
pedophilia. I don't know what the other three words are, like the distinctions, like the subcategories, because I'm not a pedophile. I've never learned the need. They're all pedophiles to me. Like I know there's other words, but I don't care.
so I actually have a really good story about community. This is the kind of thing
Yeah.
that makes you believe that communities will survive. And so one year, did Christmas in Santa Fe. Is there anybody from New Mexico in the chat that will confirm what I'm about to say? I mean, that was my experience, but if someone is from New Mexico, specifically Santa Fe, they'll confirm this. But anyway, so we were in Santa Fe, and so the Christmas Eve, basically, like everybody in Santa Fe, like they all have like the Spanish courtyard thing to their
Hmm.
house, and
Yeah.
so,
It's a
um,
beautiful area.
lovely, lovely area, and so Um, like in the mid afternoon of Christmas Eve day, we walked the neighborhood. Now, the house was owned by my stepmom's brother, who actually lives in Austria, and my parents go down and, make sure his house is all in order a couple times a year or whatever. But so we were allowed to go down there and hang out in this house. And so that afternoon, Christmas Eve or whatever, we walked the neighborhood because here's why. On Christmas Eve day, all of the families in that community, and I come to find out this is something that is very specific to Spanish communities, and as a result, likely Mexican communities in the same breath. Um, they do this thing where, like on Christmas Eve, they go out into their courtyard areas, they make a bunch of food, and people just walk up and down the roads. They stop in, talk to people, eat some food, go to the next house. And so we had like 4 or 5 of them, and then I was stupid. This was before I transitioned, and so I was wearing a short sleeve shirt, and there was snow on the ground. And we walked into this courtyard, and it was this really, really, really old, Spanish woman and her son and his kids. And he had made, I bar none, the best tamales I'd ever had in my life. And so we're standing there, and she comes up behind me, and she takes this blanket, hand woven, like Mayan era blanket, throws it over my shoulders, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is incredibly warm." And she said, "You stay, put on there." And so we were talking. I went to leave, and I took it off, and I walked over to her, and her son stopped me and said, "Don't give that back to her." And I was like, "Um, why?" And he says, she'll be offended. She gave that to you because you needed it.
Oh, that's
You
so nice.
you should take it." And I was like, "But then she won't have it." He looked at me and laughed and said, "She'll make another one in a week. She'll make another one in a week." And I was like, and
I
she just
love that.
and she just gives them to people? And he was like, "Yeah, usually this time year round, she'll give, like, 6 or 7 of them out to people just because if she can detect that you're a nice person or that if you're a kind person, she will do that." And so when communities do shit like that,
Hmm.
that's the community that you go, "God, why can't everybody else in the goddamn United States do that?"
Yeah, and it's all it is an act of empathy and care and
Yes.
just knowing that somebody else has feelings too. Okay, I'm gonna walk away for a second. But I'm here. I want to grab my computer because we're just over the hour. Not at the hour of our time. We're just under the hour of being on live together. And I wanted to end this with a really positive note because that was a really positive story about community. And I wanted to finish it up actually with a live reading of my poem that's coming out this
Oh my god.
afternoon. So let me grab my computer. Okay. So for everyone in the chat and for everyone on the stream, um, as we're going through, please subscribe to both Wendy and myself. We love the support. I'm trying to get onto the bestsellers list. I'm new in this area so far, but I'm still trying to get on the bestsellers list eventually. Please support my work. It's always going to be free to reach. But I do love the support. I use the NPR model like so many others do on here because it's a great model. Um, and please go support Wendy as well. She's amazing. I love her work. She's incredibly welcoming to me into this community and into this world. And I'm so glad I've made her as a friend so far. So I want to finish today's live out with a live reading of my poem that I haven't never done it this way before, but it's also the podcast that's coming out this afternoon. So please subscribe to my podcast as well, the Sick of This Shit Pod. It's available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well, and YouTube. Um, and so I'm doing a series of poems right now on it's called The Collection of Education, and it's on the SCOTUS decision around the education department demise. A lot of what we've been talking about today, what we've tied a lot back to. And this is the third one. Um, so the poems are entitled Education's Demise, We Spiral Down, and As Community Makes. So I'm going to start with reading the last two lines of We Spiral Down. Actually, I'm not, because I'm going to start reading them because they're the first two lines of As Community Makes. So I end one poem and I begin the other using them. So here's a live reading of As Community Makes. Yet fear can break as community makes. Community can grow, sparking us all. Make eye to us, it's now all gas, no brakes. Go as a group we win, a win not small. Small leads to big, to huge, to some new world. Education can thrive knowing the light. Make us to we, it's now our flag unfurled. Unfurling flag, a group we shine so bright. Brighter we shine through the dark we pierce. Piercing, splitting, gaping, ripping at fear. We fear no more. We shine with hope so fierce. Fiercely, boldly, braving, rising so clear. Clear as community makes us stand bold. Standing boldly as one, we can withhold. And with that, I'd love to end our live today. And thank you, Wendy, for joining me. And I hope you all enjoy. I am going to be coming live much more often for some of the shit talk, and hopefully with Wendy a lot um, as we build this community. Thanks, everyone. And go protest and go get into some good trouble today. Love y'all. Have a great day. Wendy, before we go, can you capture the chat? Thank you, Ramona. Thank you, Kimmy. Thanks, everyone. And if everyone liked this, I may start doing this as part of the normal broadcasting, is to ending with a live poem. You're on mute, Wendy, so I can't hear you.
Okay, you should totally, yes. I think you should read.
Okay, awesome.
Reading, not enough people ingest spoken language, whether that's oral traditions or stories. You should do that. Please do that.
Thanks. Thanks. Um, and please look for my podcast coming out this afternoon here in about 2 hours. Um, and like I said, go make some good trouble. Be peaceful, always peaceful, patriotic, and go have a great day, y'all. Thanks.